Welcome back to my channel. I'm James. Today I've got an exciting brand new episode in my very popular video series. Top upcoming 4K Ultra HD Blu Ray movie and TV series releases, big movie announcements, reveals, collector's film chat, episode number 23. We're really at episode number 23 in this very popular video series. Now I can tell you I've got a bunch of studio insider information to share with you today. I've got some exciting stuff. I actually just recently had a conversation with some of my direct studio contacts. I'm going to share some of that conversation with you and let you know some of this insider information that you're going to be very excited about. Now, if you haven't checked out any of the previous episodes in this video series, they always end right where I start picking up on the next one. So the last one ended on February 13th. If you haven't checked out any of them before, you'll want to go back and watch all the videos in this series. There's tons of hidden announcements, things I've shared over the years, and titles from all over the world, some hidden things that maybe you weren't aware of. Now to start off here, I have some big news to share with you. As I was kind of explaining, I just recently actually had a direct conversation with my direct studio contacts at Disney and 20th Century. And during this conversation, I got some questions I got to ask, I got a few answers, but one of the big things they did share with me that I wanted to make sure to let all of you know about as soon as possible is that True Lies, Aliens, and The Abyss on 4K that are coming out on March the 12th, they are sending to me a few weeks early for review. They did want to let me know that they're actually working on getting mine ready to send out here within the next 2 weeks. So I should have those several weeks before the release date, they said, for me to dive into and test and analyze for all of you. Those are some of the biggest 4K releases so far that have been announced this year. Those are of those amazing James Cameron films that we've all been waiting for and wanting on 4K for many years. Heck, like True Lies never was released officially on Blu-ray in the first place. It had bootlegs and then it had gray area copies, but never an official release. So those are very exciting releases, but I will be getting them in. They did let me know they're already working on getting them together and they are sending them out to me here. So I should get them, like I said, about a full 2 weeks or so before the release date, if not before that. So a reminder right now, if you haven't done so yet, make sure to go down there and give this video a like, but make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell notification. That way, just like with these reviews that are coming up, when the studios send me things early for review, you're notified right away when you click that bell notification. So that way, you're one of the first ones to get to find out the quality of these releases after I do all my testing. But the good news doesn't stop there. I was able to ask about some additional 4K releases that I've been wanting for many years, like The Rock on 4K, the rest of the Die Hard movies on 4K, Armageddon on 4K, Con Air, Tombstone on 4K. I just kind of had a little conversation. They were able to tell me basically that based on the sales and what they're looking at is how well True Lies, Aliens, and The Abyss do. That is a big factor for future thoughts and announcements and plans for catalog 4K Ultra HD releases of action films like that. So it is a big deal what happens with True Lies, The Abyss, and Aliens that's coming out on 4K here. They said a lot is being placed on the emphasis of how these perform, how they sell, how they do, how they're received, things like that, to kind of determine what the studio is going to allow to dig into for catalog titles. Now, when I asked specifically about those specific titles, I can say I didn't really get any answer as far as yes or no. It was more of a vague being considered. There's options and ideas of things based on what happens with these titles. So I can't tell you, yes, they're being worked on, no, they're not being worked on. I hope they are. They basically just wanted to let me know that it is something they're considering. What happens with these three is really going to affect the future of what we see from Disney and 20th Century. So I'm letting you know this because this is something I always share studio insider information from my contacts when I talk with them, information that's shared with me directly from the studios. And this is something important as collectors that every one of you need to be aware of. What happens with True Lies, Aliens, and The Abyss on 4K, how they perform, will affect the future of what we're going to get for catalog titles from 20th Century and Disney. It is something they are looking at heavily, they say. And that's something they said they're having conversations about, and that's going to be going forward. So this is something important that, I want to see more catalog titles. I know a lot of you really do as well, and it's something I'm very excited for, that we're getting True Lies, The Abyss, and obviously Aliens. And I want more though. I mean, I'm kind of greedy when it comes that way, but I really want Armageddon and, like I said, The Rock and Tombstone, Con Air. I could go on and on all day, all the amazing titles I really want. So this is one of those things that this is being emphasized. It's very important how these do. Now, another question I've got asked a lot recently about these three titles is the quality the same as the digital? Well, I've explained this before. If you've watched any of my previous videos, like the one that I did for Loki or Prey, in comparison to the digital streaming versions, they are not the same quality image or sound quality as what you're going to get on the disc. I can tell you that right now. I can hands down tell you the difference between what's going to be on digital and streaming is dumbed down, poor quality. They won't have nearly the depth and detail, won't look nearly as good or sound as good as the physical discs. Now, once I get them in here very soon for me to start testing and analyzing, I can tell you the exact differences that I see, that I hear when I'm going through comparing, and I'll be able to tell you exactly what the differences are. Though for future reference, digital and streaming services versus physical copies on 4K Ultra HD, there is always a drastic difference. I have not had one yet that the 4K Ultra HD isn't drastically different than the digital streaming version, because digital streaming version always has compression, and I actually talked about that in my Why Physical Media is So Important video. I talk about more of the reasons, the differences between it, what happens with digital versus when they put it on disc. And in that video, I cover a lot of those big facts and interesting things about all the data and how they're created. So if you haven't checked out that video yet, it's available right now on this YouTube channel as well. So that was some big exciting information I wanted to make sure to share with you after I had that conversation. I was super excited after I talked to them. Just getting the excitement going about not only those titles coming out, but the possible future catalog titles. So any of these in this video series, including the True Lies, Aliens, The Abyss, that you want to pre-order or you want to buy and add to your collection, depending on when you're watching this video. I've done all the work for all of you and posted the direct Amazon sale links right below this video. Those links down there are extremely important to the creation of this video and the continued creation of all these videos here on this YouTube channel. Those links down there never cost you, the viewer, a penny extra. But that's a way that you can help to support the creation of these videos and this YouTube channel simply by clicking on those links I posted down below. So any of these titles in any of this video that you want to pre-order or buy, make sure to go down and click on those direct Amazon sale links I posted right down there below. Now, switching gears slightly here, we're getting on February 20th, DARKMAN from 1990. Now, this is coming out with a brand new 4K restoration of the original camera negative with a brand new Dolby Vision and HDR10 master and color grading. I can tell you this was approved by the original director himself, Sam Raimi, and the director of photography, Bill Pope. Now, this is coming in two different flavors. We're getting a limited edition SteelBook, and we're also getting a standard 4K case. So depending on which one you're interested in and wanting to pre-order or buy, I put the direct links for both of them directly down below. But for me, I'm going with the limited edition SteelBook because I did like how it kind of had the Darkman words with him coming out of it. And I thought that was a cool SteelBook, and that's the one that I'm going for. Now, we'll have to see how this one turns out, but I will tell you it is one of those that I am excited for. Now, continuing the same day and date, we're getting Paprika. This is the 2006 anime film, and I will tell you this is coming out in a limited edition SteelBook only. This will have a brand new Dolby Vision and HDR10 master and Dolby Atmos on it. Now, a lot of the times I get a lot of questions saying, hey, is there a standard release of these? No. Sony is known for this. They are not releasing a standard like case. It's only coming out in a limited edition SteelBook. Once it sells out, it's gone. So keep that in mind, just like Sony has been known for many years now. Basically, they do them in limited edition SteelBooks, and then once they're gone, they're gone. So if you're wanting to pre-order or buy this, as I said, all the links are right down below. Continuing the same day and date, we're getting Leviathan from 1989. Now, I did just recently do a review here on my channel of this. This was sent obviously about 3 weeks early for review. I dived into and tested it out and shared all of my testing analysis and the exact review of the quality of this 4K. So if you're wanting to know the quality of this upcoming 4K, make sure to check out my full review. It's available right now here on this channel. Staying with the same day and date, we're also getting The Last Castle from 2001. Now, I did this on review as well. Again, I got it about 3 weeks early for review from Kino Lorber. They always are nice and send things to me early for review, and I always appreciate that. Though, as always, it never affects my testing analysis or review scores. As you know, if you've followed me for years, I'm always going to be upfront and honest with all of you. Though I will tell you one thing. If you have not checked out this film yet, you need to check out my review of it. This is one of those very underrated and unseen gems of a film. The story and the musical score by Jerry Goldsmith are wonderful. If you like good acting, a good story, and an emotional score behind it that really ties together with the film wonderfully well, you will enjoy this film, and you'll come back and say, man, I enjoyed watching this so much. Thank you for suggesting this film for me to get. This is one of those you need to check out. So it's available right now in that full review that I did here on this channel. But let me tell you, this is one of those films. Don't miss out on this one, because this is one of those very underrated films. Now, continuing February 20th, we're getting Beverly Hills Cop 3 from 1994. I personally love all the Beverly Hills Cop films. This is coming out with a brand new 4K restoration and a new Dolby Vision and HDR10 master, and it's going to be available in a standalone 4K release, just like the first two films were, and then they're also releasing it in a full trilogy box set. I'll post the box set down below as well as the standalone release, depending on which you're wanting to get. Now, I already bought all the standalone releases. I've enjoyed them. The third one will finish the trilogy for me. Now, I know there's a new film coming out, but I will say I enjoy all of the Beverly Hills Cop films. A lot of people say, hey, the third one wasn't as strong as the first two. You know what? I enjoyed them all, and I wouldn't not want to have any of them, so I'm glad that Paramount is finally releasing the third one. That way the trilogy of the original films is complete, because man, are they some funny films, and they have some good action in them as well. Now, staying with the same day and date, we're getting the Heroic Trio Executioners from the Criterion Collection. Now, these are the 1993 films, and in this set is both films. And they both got brand new 4K digital restorations, and they're included in this set. I will tell you, this is one of those very unique, basically action, super heroic Hong Kong films. It's got such a unique style and just really over-the-top cinematography. Very enjoyable films. If you haven't checked them out, it's like a superhero mix with kung fu action style. It's pretty darn cool, and I'm really excited these are coming out on 4K Ultra HD finally, and they're getting new 4K restorations. I'll be curious how these turn out, but these are big releases as well. Now, on February 20th, we're getting something that is near and dear to my heart. I grew up watching these nonstop. It's the Hanna-Barbera's Superstars 10 complete 10 film collection, brand new HD remastered of all these original cartoon films by Hanna-Barbera. And they ran from 1987 to 1988. And they're getting complete HD remasters for the first time ever by Warner Archive. Now, I'll post the direct pre-order link down there below, but let me tell you, these are a big deal. Because these Hanna-Barbera cartoons were something that basically a lot of us thought were lost or that would never get released. They're basically fixing spots, speckles, tears, doing a ton of remastering work for these. And this is the first time they're ever being released in HD, and to be honest with you, we're never going to get them on 4K. This is the best we're ever going to get them, and I really love all of these, like the Yogi Bear, basically little movies, and you've got obviously the Jetsons, and then the Jetsons and Flintstones together. That one was great, and I grew up loving these films and watching them all the time, and they are really good stuff. And I love the animation style of them, so I'm so thrilled these are coming out in a box set, all 10 films together in one box set. The runtime on these is a full 920 minutes. So in this box set, you're getting a massive amount of runtime for all of these great animated films. So this is one I had to let you know about because this is one of the top releases for February. That is a huge, exciting release. Now, if you haven't done so yet, make sure to give this video a like and a thumbs up for me. Hit that subscribe button and the bell notification. Now, moving ahead to February 27th now, we're getting another big release in Contagion. This is the 2011 kind of almost realistic sci-fi, basically end-of-the-world disease film. And to be honest with you, this film predicted a lot of the stuff that happened, obviously, during all of the pandemic that went on. Man, did Contagion predict a lot of it. And let me tell you, that's why I said it's kind of hard to call it a sci-fi now, because so many things that happened in that film basically really happened in real life. And that's where I feel like it's really one of those kind of more now a horror thriller almost, a realistic horror thriller, which originally wasn't supposed to be a realistic horror thriller, but now it is. This film is really cool, and I love it for those elements because it has some really creepy vibes of things we went through and what all of us lived through during that that really play out in the film well. And man, am I excited, because this is getting a brand new 4K restoration of the original camera negative by Warner Brothers. And it's gonna have a brand new HDR10 master and color grading on it. And let me tell you, there's some cool scenes that they use different lenses and filters to give different color effects that I think will play out well if done correctly with this 4K release. Now I will tell you, this is one of those limited print releases. What that means is there's only a few select retailers. For example, Amazon is one of those exclusive retailers that it's being printed and shipped out from. If you're wanting to pre-order or buy this, I put the direct Amazon exclusive link down there below. But the reason you'll have a hard time finding this is it's not sold at all retailers. It's actually not sold at most retailers. There's only a few select ones that will even have this, but this is one of those I'm very excited to check out because I really enjoy the original film, and now that it's getting a brand new 4K restoration, man, it's kind of cool to watch it after now living through all of the pandemic and the ongoing stuff with that. This one will be a cool one to check out. Now, also on February 27th, we're also getting Southern Comfort from 1981. This is that great Walter Hill film. Now, I previously did a full in-depth analysis and review quite a while ago here on this channel. It's been available for a while. Vinegar Syndrome did send these to me early for review for me to dive into and test and analyze for all of you. If you haven't checked out that full in-depth analysis, 4K versus Blu-ray image comparison that I did in that video, you'll want to check that out right now, but this is one of those really great 4K restorations. Annihilates the previous Blu-ray. You'll want to check out my exclusive 4K versus Blu-ray image comparison so you can see the exact differences between the 4K and the old Blu-ray. You'll be really surprised. Same day and date, we're also getting the horrible Dr. Hickock. This is the 1962 horror thriller film. Now, I did that in that same video with Southern Comfort and a bunch of other Vinegar Syndrome releases that they did send early for review. I can tell you this is one of those really well done and creepy classic horror films. This is one of those you'll want to check out in that video as well. I did an exclusive comparison to the previous Blu-ray release and what this new 4K provides. And let me tell you, this 4K provides some very nice visual improvements over all the previous releases if you have ever seen this film. So this is one of those, the video's available right now on this channel for you to check out. Now, same day and date, we're also getting Little Darlings from 1980. Now, this is one of those cult classic, and I kind of call it coming of age dramas. I will say the kind of description of the film, I kind of feel like does a disservice to what the film is itself. It's more of a sweeter coming of age drama of some girls that go off to camp that basically, in a comedic way, they don't know about sex and about getting older and things like that. And they're kind of like young and innocent. And they're all like, oh yeah, I want to get with a guy while we're at camp. And it's not done in a filthy or dirty way. It's actually done in a very sweet, and basically it's them learning that they want to do something that basically they don't understand. And I don't want to give away the ending, but I will say to me the ending is very good. It ties everything together and makes you realize that innocence is something we all don't want to get rid of too soon in our lives. That our innocence is something wonderful that we're given, that losing it too soon can have effects on us. And that's where I feel like this film is a wonderful film. It's a very, like I said, it's thought-provoking and done in a beautiful way from the 80s, which I do enjoy. The soundtrack's very good on it as well. Now, I can tell you this got a brand new 4K restoration of the original camera negative with a brand new HDR10 master. It is in a limited edition set, so this will sell out and go out of print. I put the direct Amazon sale link down there below for you to pre-order this, but this is a very limited edition set. They're numbered. After they sell out, they're not printing anymore, so keep that in mind. If this is something you're interested in, don't wait too long. Now, coming out on February 27th, we're also getting Wonka. This is the prequel Willy Wonka film from 2023. It's a wonderful film. It's beautifully colored. I did love the acting. It's just one of those films that's very stylistic and just pleasing to the eyes. And I will tell you, it has very nice sound to it. This is coming out as a native 4K with both Dolby Vision and HDR10 and an English Dolby Atmos audio mix. Now, this is one I am thinking I'm going to be getting it in early for review. Once I get that in, I'll dive into, test it, and analyze it for all of you. So hopefully that should arrive early for review for me to let you know the quality of that. But that is one of those releases that I'm very excited for because I love all of the Willy Wonka films We really need Johnny Depp's Willy Wonka film on 4K now, because obviously we have the original one, we need Johnny Depp's one as well, so that way we have a kind of a trilogy of all the Willy Wonka films, and that way I have them all, because I love every single one of them for different reasons. Another release on February 27th is The Roaring Twenties, and this is the film from 1939. Now this is getting a brand new 4K restoration from the Criterion collection with both Dolby Vision and HDR10. Now I can also tell you this will have a restored, uncompressed monaural soundtrack. So the sound should be much improved on this as well, because this is one of those that has always had massive issues with the audio on it. So I'm very interested to see how this one turns out. It's one of those gangster films that really just plays up things to a big crescendo, and I do think it's very enjoyable. So this one I am excited to check out from the Criterion collection. Now, same day and date, we're getting Stanley Kubrick's Fear and Desire from 1953. Now, this is getting a brand new 4K restoration with Dolby Vision and HDR10 Master for both cuts of the film, including the 3 short films by Stanley Kubrick as well. This is coming in a set. This is one of those that I'm excited to check out. I should have it in early for review. It's one of those that I know Kino Lorber said they were sending to me for a review, but it just hasn't arrived yet, so that's why it wasn't in the last video. But that is one of those I'm excited to check out because I am a big Stanley Kubrick fan. I like a lot of his films, and this is one of those that with the restoration and the short films, it's one of those that's a pretty cool set. Now, continuing February 27th, we're getting The Gunfight at the OK Corral. Now, I did previously already review this here a while back. Did get this in about 3 weeks early for review as well. You'll want to check out my full review to find out the total quality of this film, but I will tell you this is one of those big releases coming out of a classic Western that's a very good Western film. So if you haven't checked out my full advanced review with my exclusive 4K versus Blu-ray image comparison, it shows you the quality of this new 4K restoration versus the previous Blu-ray releases, so you know exactly how it stacks up and if it's something you should add to your collection. Now, staying with the same day and date, we're also getting Monk Season 4. Now, I did a complete review on this in that same video. I dived into actually all 4 seasons of Monk that have been released on Blu-ray. I can tell you these all had brand new 4K restorations of every single one of the episodes in these sets. In that video, I dive into all the reviews of each and every season. I show you some of the images from it, and let me tell you, I love this series. If you haven't watched Monk, it's one of those comedic crime mysteries with a little bit of drama mixed in, and it's done so wonderfully well. You can sit down with the whole family and just have a blast watching it. Even to this day, it's one of our favorite series to watch. The humor and the comedy on this, I really relate to. I kind of explained in that review video, I really relate to the comedy because of my nerve damage and my ongoing pain that I live in. I kind of have the same issue where I like things to be clean, not to his extremity obviously, but I can relate a little bit to it. So now on February 27th, we're also getting Migration from Illumination Animation. This is the 2023 family comedy, very funny and enjoyable CGI film. And let me tell you, it's one of those that I really think that Illumination's animation has really taken off, and I do feel like they've kind of replaced in a lot of areas Disney and Pixar's films in some areas. I really look forward to Illumination's films almost more so than I do a lot of like the modern Disney or Pixar films that have recently been coming out. And let me tell you, Migration was funny and it's very enjoyable. So this is one of those that I'm really excited it's coming out on 4K. I'm glad that they've started releasing more and more of these titles, that they're not skipping any of them. So this is a big release. Now, same day and date, we're getting Fear the Walking Dead, the 8th season, which is actually its final season on Blu-ray. And this is for me to round out my Walking Dead series. I have them all on Blu-ray, so I'm glad that they've released all of them and haven't skipped any of them. I even have the spin-off series. And so I've got all of those, and I am glad that we're getting the final 8th season, so that way you have from 1 through 8. But this is another one that's an exciting release. Now, we're also on February 27th getting Patrick, the 1978 sci-fi horror film. This is getting a brand new 4K restoration of the original camera negative by Powerhouse Films. With Dolby Vision and HDR10 in it, it's coming in a box set. I will put the direct Amazon sale link down below for this. Now, I have never seen this film, but it does have an interesting twist to it that I'm very interested to watch it now. If you kind of read the description of it, it's one of those very interesting sounding films. I haven't gotten to check this out, so this is one I'm excited to see how it turns out. I always like when I find a new film that I haven't seen because it's pretty rare. I've seen most of everything. I've gone to hundreds, maybe thousands and thousands of films over my lifetime. And it's one of those things that when I find something I never saw, especially something that kind of intrigues me, I get excited. So this is one of those I'm curious to check out. Now let me know in the comment section below what of these you've seen, what of these you haven't, and what of these you're excited to buy and pre-order. Now, it's very important I put all those direct Amazon sale links for every single one of these as a pinned comment in the comment section right below this video. Any of these you're wanting to buy or pre-order, make sure to go down and click through those direct Amazon sale links down there. It's very important to the creation of these videos. If you want to help to support this channel even more, make sure to join my Collectors VIP Club. Only costs you $1 or $2 every month, but it drastically makes a difference in me being able to continue to create these videos every single time. Make sure to start the conversation down there and let me know what of this you're excited for. What of all of these announcements or the things I shared about Disney and 20th Century, how excited are you for the fact of that if these sell well enough, like I was talking about with the Aliens and the True Lies and the Abyss, we could see more catalog releases based on how these do. I'm hoping they do great. I'm hoping they're amazing 4K restorations. I'm hoping they look great on 4K. Now, I do know there's some issues with some of the original film elements, but let me just say that I do hope that they can retain some of the natural film grain and that they just look as good in filmic at least, or close to Titanic. I mean, I'll be thrilled with it if it's even close to it. So I'm very excited about those, to check those out and to see how they turn out. So we've got a lot of very exciting 4K releases coming out. If you haven't done so yet, make sure so that you never miss out on any of this earlier exclusive content. Make sure to go down there, give this video a like and a thumbs up, and hit that subscribe button and the bell notification. That way you never miss out on this content. You'll get notified right away if you have that bell notification, so that way you get to watch these early and advanced reviews. I do them constantly. The studios send me things constantly. I work with all the major studios. They send things to me constantly early for reviews, so that way I can dive into them for all of you. As always, I truly hope all of you have a blessed day, and I've always got something new, early, exclusive, and exciting coming out very soon.